Okay, should be good. Not dropping any frames, recording is live. The lights are good. Let's load and continue. Not Shishu, that's a side project I'm just currently planning out. And we wanted to go here. It's just me messing around when I'm offline, you know. As for this, do need to turn the music back on. That I do remember. Okay, sound over here. 70 again. And there we are. As I believe I said last time, we were starting to approach the areas that I haven't seen or played before. Okay, Amateur Hell Knight, it's good. Equipment is mostly good. I'll sell those off though. Quest-wise, have to do that. Visit Generic and Chili Creek, that shouldn't be too hard. State of Execution, that was done. Bounty City, also done. I have no idea what that's going to be, so I just have to wait. Banner over the Citadel, that's our main quest. We're just going to make it to Dresden. It's already done. Just keep an eye out for things to do with Trindelov. Visit Nameless Ruins. League of Inspiring Card. Pretty much, we could leave that be, but might as well head there now. Same with that. A farewell. That we have to do now. Bavicols who participated in the attack on Canabras is retreating in the direction of Dresden. First task commander's armies. These are army quests by looks at. Yeah, Crusade, so we don't have to worry about those. Those errands are done. We have to speak to Erebeth about the scabbard we have of hers. And we just need to keep an eye out for more storyteller pages. So let's talk to Erebeth now. She should be over here near her tent. Commander, allow me to say something. Erebeth looks even more serious than usual. Before you, this wasn't a war. It was agony, drawn out over decades. No one believed in victory anymore. When the demons attacked the city, for some of it, it was relief. At least the end had come. They laid down their weapons and surrendered without a fight. I felt the same thing, but I somehow got through on stubbornness and a vague hope that if nobody found Enevia's body, she might be, by some miracle, alive. Or, it's a bit different what she says, but same thing. And that miracle was you. You returned my beloved to me when I had nearly lost all hope of seeing her alive again. Then you went on a suicide mission to the Grey Garrison and won the city back for us. You turned a defeat into a victory. I know it wasn't easy. You make everything seem so effortless. You do everything just like that, she says with a snap of her fingers. The Queen believes in your powers too, but for me, they're just more proof of what I felt that day when I saw Anevia alive standing next to you. You're the miracle we've been waiting for. You're the one who will finally put an end to this terrible war, and in spite of everything, deliver us to victory we so desperately need. With you, I'm sure this crusade will achieve what the others could not. I found a scabbard with your family name on it in the Grey Garrison. Erebeth looks down. This scabbard held the solemn hour, my family's sword. My family once fought with it, and I took it when I left home to become a paladin. Alas, it was not stolen. I parted with my home willingly, to help someone dear to me. Anevia needs some expensive healing, and having no other way to procure money, I pawned my father's sword. I think he would have understood. I'm sure he would have given up everything to help the family. I hoped to redeem the solemn hour eventually, but there was never enough money, and soon the sword disappeared from the pawn shop altogether. I have no idea who took it. Seems like I have to part with my father's sword forever. It was foolish to part with your weapon in the middle of the war. She's entirely going to disagree with me. Perhaps I acted rashly, but I had no other option. Erebeth lovingly traces the name imprinted in silver on the scabbard's leather. My parents are loyal servants, yet I wasn't enough to earn them a title or a coat of arms. Still, however humble our name might be, it's still worth something. I don't know if I'll ever see Solemn Hour again. But at least I have its scabbard back. Thank you. We need reinforcements. Can you get us more soldiers? Erebeth frowns. When we began the march on Dresden, we chose speed over numbers. If I order more volunteers to be recruited, they simply won't arrive in time. We could pay mages to deliver the troops to camp, except I doubt our armor's coffers can afford it. If we can spare 7,500 gold, I'll see to our reinforcements. Excuse me there. You have your orders. Consider it done. Not sure if it was worth it, but we'll see what we can do. I have to go. She's gonna be someone we talk to later. Hopefully. So that's Erebeth done. Let's talk to Sosil now. He was over here, I believe. Our new party member.
Hello again. I'm very pleased to meet you. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me.
A young cleric stands before an easel, his brush hovering over the canvas without touching it. Instead of painting, the young man absent-mindedly gazes at the sky of Canabris, which is still streaked with towering plumes of black smoke. Finally, he notices you and smiles, shaking off his stupor.
It's a pity I wasn't there at the Grey Garrison to witness your feats of strength with my own eyes. The flash, however, could be seen miles and miles away. Some people were frightened of it, thinking that the demons had blown up the remains of the keep. I, for one, knew immediately that it was a good sign. The light above the city showed us that there was still hope.
Who are you? And how can you possibly be of use to my army?
My name is Sozio Vanek. I am a cleric of Shaylin, the Eternal Rose and the Goddess of Beauty. Yes, I know that many people would consider me useless in a war. This is not a usual war, though. Just consider our enemy. The Abyss and his demons are the very embodiment of everything evil and ugly in the world. Perhaps a disciple of kindness and beauty might come in handy. I have no doubt that we will win this war, Commander. We just have to. It is our destiny. My role is to help you, and all those standing by your side in this struggle, to survive and flourish. Everyone deserves the chance to find peace and happiness in the world that they are defending so selflessly.
What are you painting? Cleric's eyes linger mournfully on the canvas. Unfinished painting depicts a temple crowned with a rainbow-tailed bird, a symbol of Shelian. 5 people dressed in robes stand before the temple. Men and women, young and old. They all gaze back at you with radiant happiness and joy in their serene eyes.
My brothers and sisters in faith. They sent me for help and then they saved my life, Commander. If the Prioress hadn't ordered me to escape the city and seek help, I would have died right along with them. Instead, I met Queen Galfrey on my way to Nerosian and hurriedly returned to Canabris, only to find my friends dead on the steps of our desecrated temple.
I want to draw them the way they live on in my memory. Wise, beautiful, and loyal to their goddess and their city to the very end.
They fulfilled their duty honorably.
They did more than their duty. They gave everything they had to save others. Now it's my duty to make sure my friends and tutors did not die in vain. I will honor their sacrifice by making this world a bit more beautiful and kind.
What made an artist enlist in the army?
Perhaps I am a true artist, or simply an amateur who defaces canvases in my spare time. My goddess is a patron of art, so painting is part of my prayer, and I put all my heart into my pieces. But I am a cleric above all else, so I must also tend to others. I went to war because here's where I'm most needed. Sure, I could be painting idyllic landscapes and offering empty prayers to my goddess, but that won't stop people from dying. My goddess has no tolerance for false piety.
You wanted to discuss something with me?
Yes, I have a personal request. Before we undertake our journey and leave Canabris behind, I would like to visit Martyr Zacharias' cemetery for a funeral. It's not far from here, and it's important. I would like to pay my respects to my friends from the Temple of Shaylin who died defending the city. Also, if it's not too much trouble, I would like you to come with me to honor their memory. Their friends and family will be at the funeral, and perhaps the commander's personal presence will bring them comfort. I know that you are burdened by many cares right now, so I understand if you can't find the time. But if you could, I would be sincerely grateful.
It was nice meeting you. Now I have to go.
You must be rather busy indeed. Leading a crusade all by yourself is no joke. I still believe that you are up to the task. This war has been raging for 100 years, but you've given us a chance at victory.
And with that, we're done for the most part. Do we have any time to talk to him? So how do you like your new role, advisor? Darian winces. You also enjoy poking me with that stick, don't you? Imagine it. Me, a crusader. My dearest cousin hoped to teach me a lesson. She managed it perfectly. An assignment I couldn't avoid without losing face. This idiotic journey leading straight into the demon's maws. I could have been on a pleasure boat right now, with the loveliest strong songstress of pick-tacks on my arm, and a bottle of the finest Kiowan wine to keep us company. Incidentally, I blame you for all this. Darren lets out a sigh. Well, actually I think Cousin Galfrey is to blame for everything that's happened to me. I suppose some of my misdeeds could be considered my own fault. But I can hardly be expected to take responsibility, can I? Certainly not. Therefore, I shall lay all the blame at your door, and plot my revenge. He gives you an innocent smile. Did you also receive a fraction of that unusual power? Looks like it. I generally hoped to get away from you, and getting away from you would be the end of it. If your gift truly did come from Iomade, giving me a smidgen of that power was a very subtle joke on her part. I had no idea that our divine Lightbringer of Mendev had even a sense of humour. Back when we started on my many acts of sacrilege against her, that obscene engraving, the truth and testers of the Starstone, it's the tamest one by far. I should go. Celia?
Hello. So, what do you reckon about everything that's come crashing down on us? All the responsibility, command, this new power?
Sarah looks anxious. She's holding a sword, but her movements seem nervous. The girl doesn't even notice you at first, but when she does, she smiles cheerlessly and stops what she's doing. I haven't figured it out yet. We'll see what happens next.
Watching and waiting is a good strategy. Probably. I'm still frightened by what happened in the Grey Garrison. Were we really chosen? By Iomade herself? You know, back when I was a snot-nosed kid who just started down the path to becoming a paladin, I imagined once or twice that I was going to do something heroic. The lights would shine down on me, the trumpets would sing, I'd hear the voice of the goddess, or at least her herald, you know? I'd be informed that I had been chosen for a great cause. But that's the point where my imagination always failed me. Somehow, it really happened. Without all the trumpets or the herald or even anyone explaining what I had to do. Though it's clear as day, my place is here, in this demon-ridden wound. Quite a lovely war going on, in fact. Endless, I hear. I'm gonna need some time to wrap my head around this. Spare me an hour and I'll crawl into some dark corner and whine about my hard lot. What can I tell you? I cry easily.
Celia is struggling with the sudden increase in station. She was alright to drink and, you know, just fight demons, but give her a bit of responsibility and things start to grumble a little bit. What's Grandma doing? Ooh, still not much. Not land. What brings you here? What do you think of what happened in the Grey Garrison? Do you feel a change in yourself? It's hard not to notice when the demons start running away from you like a flock of frightened bats. Power is granted by Iomade to defeat demons. Lan raises his hand above his head and pensively scratches behind his single horn. Since I was a kid, I've taken whatever I've been given and used it as best I can. Anything goes when you're trying to survive. It doesn't matter where your blessings come from. You can think about that when we're old, if we live that long. But you know, this time even I'm not sure. A divine power just happens out of nowhere. Sooner or later, we'll have to pay for it. I'd like to know what the price will be. He's down to earth. Refreshingly so, to be perfectly honest. What was the mythic ability we gave him? Always a chance. There's a chance to hit even if he rolls a 1. which is possible. Probably won't help him, to be perfectly honest, unless he's trying to hit something really weak. If you're wondering where his mythic ability will be, I think it's immediately after the first mission you do with him. Or after his first quest. It unlocks pretty quickly. As we know, we may as well level her up quickly. It really won't take long. And then level 3 spells still. Let's see. See Invisibility Communal. And Heroism. So done quickly. We'll give the same thing. Spells, we want to go for things that either buff or debuff. We'll go Cat's Grace. And probably Glitter Dust. Again, even if you mess up his spell selection, you can fix it with scrolls. As for Nino, she doesn't really need Ascendant Element. She more needs Abundant Casting. As for you, you kind of need Archmage Armor, to be perfectly honest. There we go. Easy fix. Talking about Nino. Ah, Gil, there you are. Very good. Just in time. You'll be delighted to know that I need you for an experiment. So, the Great Garrison stand roofless. Demons are running for the hills with their tails between their legs. Mendev's queen, what's her name? It's on tip of my... Ah yes, Galfrey, is scurrying to and fro, and all this is somehow connected to you, my loyal follower. Thus far, there is no scientific evidence of your exceptionality. If one discounts blind faith and divine intervention, which I do, we, people of science, refuse to believe in the inexplicable without any proof. We are the ones who explain the inexplicable. You know, punctuates the statement with the energetic sweep of our arms. And therefore, open your mouth and say, ah, for me. We'll go along with this. Nina peers into your mouth with a practiced eye. Alright, your throat's fine, tongue looks perfectly normal, your breath? She smiths. The smell is in line with the regular functioning of your digestive system. Now for your teeth. She sticks one hand in your mouth and probes each of your teeth in turn with the skill of a seasoned dentist. No detectable alterations. By the way, did you know that many individuals, while being wholly civilized representatives of their races, still have an amazingly powerful bite? As if suddenly recalling something, Nino probably pulls her hand out of your mouth. Are you really trying to find a correlation between fang length and civility? Nino seems slightly embarrassed. For the good of science, I look for correlations everywhere and in everything. How can you prove there's no correlation if you don't bother to look for one? Someone gets on my nerves, I can bite hard enough too. Can you? We definitely must test this someday. But not today. Now we're conducting an experiment of a different kind. Moving on. Alright, what do we do next? Ears. Let's check your hearing. Testing! Nino yells right in your ear, and nods in satisfaction as she observes your reaction. Hearing is fine. Was fine. But don't worry, it's scientifically proven that it should return to normal soon. Next, Nino circles you. Eyes are clear, posture is satisfactory, limb length is standard, no lice. She stops, rubs her chin in contemplation, and, in a slightly dejected tone, says, Girl, you are the picture of health. It's pity. I was expecting to find some anomaly. Well, now unless it says your mental state. Imagine a hypothetical situation. You're a tree. True squirrels have found their way into your hollow and are now copulating there. What do you do? I'll do precisely nothing, because I'm a tree. An unconscious act of withdrawal, along with your lack of trust in your own abilities. Perhaps just a healthy dose of pragmatism? On to the next question. Another hypothetical situation. You're a tomato. You've just been picked from the vegetable patch and put into a crate. You know that today the cook will use half the tomatoes from your crate to make soup. What do you do? There's nothing I can do. I'm a tomato, remember? An unconscious act of withdrawal. Inability or unwillingness to see something bigger behind something small. Alright, I understand. On the surface, it appears you don't really believe in your ability to change things. But, in fact, you're a strong pragmatist who knows perfectly well what you can and can't do. Reasoning is that of an immortal, one who's capable of achieving a great deal, though she would deny that. On that note, I deem this experiment complete. Thank you for your participation. Nina looks at you pensively, and then gestures at you with a wide sweep of her arm. And yet it remained a puzzle to me. I love puzzles. One of these days I will solve you completely. Unless I forget. Now I have time to answer your questions. Go on, ask away. To be honest, we have no questions for her, but I do love her interaction. Made me laugh. Get the cheese. Let's get everything. And talk to Ember. Ember is popping her head and humming a tune. She greets you with a carefree, cheerful smile. Her wandering eyes linger on you for just a moment before darting off again into the distance. How are you handling your new abilities? Abilities? Gil tilts her head to her shoulder. What are you talking about? Oh, the tricks you learned from when the big grey house blew up. They're funny. Thanks for teaching them to me. The Queen gave me the title of Knight Commander and put me in charge of an army. What do you think about that? Elle focuses her wondering gaze on your eyes, smiles, and shakes her head. Don't believe titles. All of us in the world are children off the street. Barefoot, hungry, scared. One step away from death. Some imagine they're strong and rich, like gods. But don't forget who you really are, behind the title. Have to go. So go. Rather simplistic. But that is Ember. Okay. Who else do I need to talk to? Let me talk to you. What did you give you a friendly wave? Hey, Chef. Hey, Chef. Not Chef. Chief. Want to talk? What do you think of my new powers? Woodchief pauses to think, rubbing his chin. You mean what you did back there? I have a few ideas. We can send you to Patak's underground arena to fight. Give her a scary name like Swift Sting or something like that. Give you a great cover story. Enemies burn down your house. You're avenging your dead family. The public eats that stuff up. You'll wear a shiny, eye-catching outfit. Or a black one if you prefer like black leather. Yeah, if you like black or better. That's a bit of a tongue twister. We'll split the prize money 60-40. 60 for me, of course. You know, arranging fights isn't easy. These people are tough. I'll be taking on more of a risk than you. And after we set up in Pitax, we'll tour different cities and make some real money. But you don't like the sound of it. Do you have any other suggestions? Woodchief grins, his yellow eyes are lighting up. I've got one more. Have you heard of Razmaran? It's some land in the River Kingdoms ruled by King Razmir. A friend of mine used to live in Razmarin. He got out of there as fast as he could. Long story short, this King Razmir of theirs is a god. He keeps his people under his heel, and they're all terrified of what he may do. He sits on his throne, wearing some white mask, giving power to anyone. Come and take power from me, he says. So long as you believe in me. Woodchief quickly checks that no one is eavesdropping. But the friend of mine, the one who fled, is a half-sister on his old man's side, who's a cook in the castle, and a washerwoman who plays the cook plays cards with in the evenings, told her a juicy rumour. Word is, Razmir isn't a real god at all, and he's got no powers. So here's my point. You do have powers, pretty scary ones too. You'll find some shabby little kingdom, I'll start some rumours, you'll show off a few tricks to wow the locals, and that's it. We'll make you a deity. But first, I want you to put in writing that I'll be your chief advisor. I'm not doing anything, just on the nod. I've been there. People promise you mountains of gold, and then when it comes to it, they're all, get lost, and I'll set my dogs on you. So, do you like the idea? You should be punished for your heretical thoughts. Woodchief grins acidly. That's the spirit. You're already thinking like a deity. Talking about heresy and punishments. Perfectly. Look at it this way. You can be proud and poor, or a queen and filthy-seeking rich. You think maybe some Eldori are going to come and offer you a barony because you're such a nice person? Yeah, right. We don't need to wait for favours. We'll grab them with our own hands. I mean, you will. And I'll be standing nearby, giving good advice. I want to know more about you. How much is more? I have family, tieflings too. My family. It's an interesting story, actually, but I don't tell it to just anyone. My father and mother had a bakery. Their life was great. The gods never blessed them with any children. One day, my mother went to the river to wash some clothes and saw a basket floating downstream. Inside the basket was a baby, adorable and chubby and fast asleep. It was yours truly. In my hand was a note spritzeled with expensive perfume that said, "Take care of my little angel." My mother brought me home, and she and my father realized right away that I was heaven sent. They raised me as their own. When I turned 15, my mother showed me my baby blanket. It was embroidered with the coat of arms of an unknown kingdom, all in gold thread. Ever since then, I've been looking for my real parents. But it's not easy. Traveling takes money, so if you've got a few gold coins, I'll pay you back as soon as I find my real family. I give you my word. And that doesn't sound very believable. Seriously? Usually everyone disbelieves everything I say. People love stories like that. You know, a cute baby, a basket, a blanket. What's not to love? They look at me differently, as if I'm worth more just because the sheets I spit on may have been a fancy coat of arms on them. Uljif laughs bitterly. If I was really a prince, I wouldn't be sitting around here, I can tell you that much. I'd have already gone to take what was rightfully mine, and then I'd come back with an army, so I could watch the guards and the merchants who pushed me all around my life bow and scrape before me. That's not going to happen. Want to hear the real story? The true story is boring. My family is human, both my father and my mother. They used to live in the village nearby. I forgot the name. When my ma had me, my old man got so mad he almost killed her. Pinned her up to the wall and started asking questions. Like why his son had horns and a tail. Well, my ma told him that my grandmother, used to fool around with a demon. When he heard this, Daddy Dearest got drunk, trashed the house, and then took off. I don't remember any of this, of course, my grandma tells me. I was about 3 years old when my mother brought me to Canabras and left me with my grandma. She said to her, "You and your demon have ruined my life. Now you handle him." Then she left. I never saw her or my dad since. She did leave a blanket though. That part was true. But my grandma burned it because it was infested with lice. It wasn't even good enough to use as a rag. I think after that my grandma saw the light, felt really rightly ashamed, and kissed my horns. I wish. Uljif grins nastily, his yellow eyes flashing. People used to give her trouble for fooling around with a demon. She wasn't welcome anyway, so she got angry. Normal kids get bedtime stories, see, but the only tales I got told were how my dad was worthless, my ma was a slut, and I was a demon spawn that no one cared about. She only kept me so I could help around the house and steal things when needed. So that's the truth. Yep, let's just repeat the same thing. How did you become a thiefling? Uljif grins happily. I already was a tiefling, and life made me a thief. I've been in the business since I was a kid. My grandma used to say, if you don't work, you don't eat. She gave me as an apprentice to Yiga, a tiefling neighbour of ours. He was a cunning old geezer. He knew how to take a purse off someone's belt, how to cut open bags unattended, even do some magic. I used to climb through basement windows and open doors from the inside, whilst I was still small enough. When I grew and stopped fitting through windows, I decided I was done with my education. I repaid my grandma for everything she'd done for me, which was absolutely nothing. Why would I feed her if she wasn't bringing me any money? You don't work, you don't eat. So I took off. I got bored of my teacher too, but when I as much hinted at leaving, he said I owed him for my education. So I just nodded, and then I joined the Owlbears, the gang that ran the district, and told them that Jaeger was working their territory. I don't know what happened to him, but I stayed with the Owlbears. Then their leader started giving me the cold shoulder. I did steal from him, but never that much. So I had to rat him out to the guards. And then I joined the Golden Hands. That was such a good time. Rich pickings. I would have stayed with the Golden Hands, but the Northmen promised me a bigger cut if I told them where the Golden Hands kept their loot. I was no fool, of course. So I told them. After I only had one option. To join the Northmen. And then the family came. At first, no one took them seriously, calling them thieflings and all that. But I felt it right away. They had power behind them, and they had more money. I'm always on the winner's side, Chief. That's why I joined the Thieflings. And right on time. Some thugs that came from the capital and made the Northmen leave. The ones who survived are in the family now. Tell me about the Thieflings. Alright, I won't tell you everything, mind, but I can tell you a little. The Thieflings are Mendevian thieves. The gangs are started in Mendev's capital by someone or other, and soon after they spread all over Galarian. They are also called the Family. You know why? because us tieflings are easy to spot. Wherever we go, guards are always hassling us, asking, "Are you lost or something, Hornhead?" We usually say, "We're visiting family." And if they say, "Oh yeah, who?" you give them the name of a local tiefling, who confirms everything, even if he's never seen you before in his life. That's why we're all brothers and sisters. There are rules. Who does what, who gets what cut. I won't say it's a lot, but they make it worth your time. They'll even heal you if you take an arrow. But the biggest no-no is this. You don't steal from the family. If you don't contribute to the shared pot, you'll get the cold shoulder. You won't be treated like family anymore. And then everyone will hear that you went to visit some relatives who have a farm to someplace. My best guess? The farm is in some underground well beneath Canabras, where they breed grave worms. If Sister Kisme, our boss, looked the other way more often, I'd really be able to spread my wings. There's no real good answer there. I want to ask something else. What do you think of Canabras? It used to be such a hole. Then the Crusaders and refugees came, and things started looking up. Although it depends who you ask. I suppose witches better steer clear of here, because Amedo's followers are ferocious. Especially Hulgun Shepok, the local inquisitor. He's a tough old goat. I didn't see it myself, but a serving girl at the tavern told me that her second cousin's son from his third wife is a paladin, and he said that Hulgun makes an unsheathed sword with him, takes an unsheathed sword with him, even to the privy. And when he sleeps, he puts it on his pillow next to him. And when he's in his cups, he strokes the blade and whispers sweetly to it, "You're my one true friend. You're the only one I can rely on." Erebeth's given us a hard time too. Do as much look at some nice little bauble, and before you can think of taking it, before your fingers even twitch, she's coming for you, with her nostrils flaring and her fangs glinting. Scary woman. But even she's better than Sister Kirisme, a boss here in Canabras. By I mean the tiefling's a boss. If you get caught by Erebeth, it's all out in the open. You can go to prison, or you can end up as worm food. But if you step on Kirisme's toes, poof, you're gone. Just like that. No one ever sees you again. All you'll hear is, "He went to the family farm," even though he'd never had a family. Or a farm. You have demon blood in you. Do you feel drawn to the abyss? Woodruff's tail whips back and forth nervously, raising clouds of dust. Why? Are you an inquisitor or something? What's it to you? What if I've wronged you somehow? Just come out and say it. Don't ask me trick questions. I know how it happens. I used to know a fella. He was married to the sister of a guard. Some shady types got him drunk one night and started asking him suspicious questions about the gods, about the queen. So he wakes up hungover, with a headache. Someone's mumbling something. It smells like smoke. And his feet are kinda hot. He looks down and there's a fire underneath him. And with the prelate reading out his sentence. Your shadow looks strange. What kind of magic is that? Ladies and gentlemen, roll up, roll up. No dark magic, no fraud. A trick without any deception. Woodruff snaps his fingers, and a blue flame engulfs him. The shadow that was previously lying calmly at his feet rose, floating in the air behind him. It's the shadow of a huge, horned, winged demon with claws. Ta-da! It doesn't do anything. It just looks scary. I remember when I was little, an old beggar showed me and my friends how to make shadow puppets. You put your fingers together in front of a light, and it makes the shadow of a deer, or a dog, or a dove on a wall. I tried so hard, I wanted to make the best shadow. And I did. It just happened. Woodruff chuckled sadly. Funnily enough, that's the last time I had any real friends. They tried to stone me later, screaming at me, calling me a demon. A tiefling is always a demon to those wimps. Even the lowest ranking drunken gnome thinks he's better than me. That's because hasn't got horns or a tail. The poorest beggar and the filthiest gutter thinks he's better than me. Most people would never show their shadows again after their first time. But I don't care. If shadows start flying again, I'll just run. I'm used to it by now. I don't like it. Demon magic is nothing to be proud of. The big magic, the blue fire vanishes and Woodruff hides his hands behind his back like an naughty child. Got it, Chief. But it's a part of me, same as my horns and tail. I'm not proud of them, they just exist. It's the same with the shadow. It's mine, and that's why I like it, demonic or not. Sure, why not? Are you really staying in the party, or are you just waiting for a chance to run off? Woodruff gives you a hurt look. As if I could. There are demons and dangers around every corner. The tiefling stops short. Don't worry, Chief. I'll work off my debt, honestly. I won't stab you in the back or go on and run with your money. But if you buy my wares, I won't have to leave it all. I have to go. Let's talk later. Luda shrugs. Whatever. You're free to do as you please. After that, look at all those, and then talk to Helgus. August Worm has been expecting you. Thumb stuck in his belt. There you are. I've been waiting. As you see, I too have joined the crusade. I don't know how to swing a sword, but war is costly and I have money. Besides, my intellect and business sense may prove useful even on the battlefield. Besides, I believe. August shifts awkwardly from foot to foot. I believe I owe you an apology. The way I behaved was rude, ill-mannered, and ill-mannered. You're an honest and honourable person. You've called your way up from the bottom of society to the title of Knight Commander. And you are friends with Queen Gallifrey herself. Such persistence deserves respect. August tilts his head in a brief acknowledgement of your merits. Please allow me to give you this magic amulet from my humble personal treasury to mark our future cooperation. Why have you decided to support the Crusades now? With all due respect, that's none of your business. I have my reasons. Perhaps I felt a rush of patriotism when Canabras was destroyed. Anyway, why would you think I never supported the Crusaders? Perhaps I simply don't like to brag about my donations? Ostentatious charity only attracts beggars. I'd wager that Erebeth has no idea whose money she's spending on drinks and supplies. What can you tell me about Count Darian Arenday? Nobles of Canabras should be acquainted with each other, shouldn't they? He's a brilliant young man with a brilliant pedigree. And that story of his... The nobility is the glue that keeps our society together. I suppose that's why demons so often choose their estates as primary targets. Who would notice the demons' bloody massacres if they only slaughtered poor country folk? The Arenday family shared the tragic plight of the Goyams, along with many other families of nobility. They fell victim to a treacherous attack during a major celebration taking place at the family estate. I hadn't received an invitation and was slightly insulted by the snub. It turns out to be a blessing in disguise. The god saved me from a terrible fate. All the guests died that day from magical demonic disease. I sympathise with the Count deeply. He endured so much, and it's no wonder he keeps himself aloof from me. I think this is due to the fact that Holgersquim's fate so resembles his own, and we both have to relive these horrible memories whenever we see each other. I have to go. Speaking of Camilla, greetings. What do you think of the powers you received from me? Camilla shrugs nonchalantly. People of noble descent grow accustomed to ample opportunity. Powers I received from you are useful, but I see no point in trading them with excessive piety. I won't keep you. Bit of a closed book, that one, for now. So I believe I've talked with everyone. Can't remember Canabras. Done Hawkblade. Done Erebeth. Hello. Ah, that's right. Hilo was the mercenary guy, wasn't he? Yep. Do you know anything about a Pathfinder named Finium Dismar? Hilo rubs his chin. Let me think. Dismar. I've definitely heard the name before. Finia. Of course you have. I'm a Pathfinder too. Still the chief in these lands now? What about Lady Ori? When I left for the wound, she'd just taken up the position. Hilo examines the talking weapon and chuckles sadly. I'm afraid Ori perished during the Third Crusade. Yes, now I remember. Finian Dismar went missing in the wound at the end of the Second Crusade. His name's been on the lists of the fallen for a while. Finian the talking weapon. Here I am, alive and well. Writing a list and I'm back, and soon I'll file a detailed report about everything that happened to me. Finian's voice is full of joy. I knew it was probably a misunderstanding. But now everything will return to normal. I need to write to my folks. They'll probably think I'm dead too. Hilo shakes his head sadly. Poor lad. But such is the fate of a Pathfinder. We face the unknown, but sometimes the unknown wins, and our minds cannot take it. I have to go. Good luck. Watch your back. Only trust your closest friends. The enemy is cunning and treacherous. But that should be everyone, I believe. I'll talk to Sose, Nino, you, and you. What is the amulet of the Black Mirror? When the wearer of this amulet uses a hex, The DC of the saving throw increase against it is increased by 1. It's really nice. Sorry. That really has to go on Ember. It could be put onto Camilla as well, but really want Camilla to keep on tanking. And we can't really swap out her Nicholas at the moment. At all. Who in our party doesn't have a necklace? What about you? Go rest. We now do. Items, we should be good. At least for now. Which means we can actually sit out. What is that one? Nope. Oh yeah. Nope, that's the one we just saved. There we are. Now, we really want to take him with us in this first area. Just for the time being, we're going to swap out Ember with him. We'll see why pretty quickly. Because his quest is literally right there. But if you're familiar with the Kingdom map from Kingmaker, this is the what's the word? Sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a sec. This is the Crusade map. I'm not sure where the World Wound is and is. Ah, it might just be here. It certainly looks like it is, doesn't it? Look at all those cracks. Right, that's our destination. Gotta make it to Dresden. To get there, we have a lot of certain armies we have to clear out. A few forts as well. First things first though, you actually have to deal with this. So we have a Crusade screen now. Am I particularly versed with this? Not at all. There should be a way to merge them. There we go. Now we have 4 different choices. These two, what's the difference in types between them? Or rather, what do they do? Offensive training, all units now we have a +2 bonus to damage per level at the feet. Charge formation, all other units get +3 bonus to speed and -2 penalty to AC. And the one formation type ability may be active. Its ability is the stratagem. All infantry, ranged or cavalry units receive a +1 bonus to attack and saving throws for 3 rounds. Its ability is a stratagem. So that's a kind of a mage, that's kind of a monk. That is, I believe, kind of a ranger. But I think we want to go with you. The magus, in a way. We have clerics, we have archers, and we have footmen. We may recruit. Let's recruit as many archers as we can. Have you meet up as well. Merge you into there. And have you march on. we have cultists and we have cultist fighters. So these guys, the stronger version. If you played Heroes Might Magic, this is essentially just that in its own way. But that's why we bought archers. Because archers in this game and Heroes Might Magic are always quite strong. Having defeated a band of cultists who had driven the captives from Canabras and raided the ruins of Avala's Gift, the temporary base, Commander's army celebrates its first triumph. Unfortunately, the demon worshippers have killed all the citizens and gathered their belongings in a huge pile in the middle of the camp. There's extra finances, but that's about it. This step represents the authority of the Knight Commander of the Crusaders and their willingness to obey her orders without question. The 6 stat reflects the quality of the Crusade suppliers. The Missionary stat reflects the political influence of the Knight Commander and the willingness of foreign mercenaries to join the Crusade. The military stat represents the level of battle readiness of the Crusaders and the general combat effectiveness of their armies, which is why that's getting slightly leveled up. We have 1,000 finance points, 0 material, 0 energy. We probably won't get those until we actually unlock more of the Crusade system. Unlike Kingmaker, we can actually buy resources with gold, but perfectly honest, there's not much point at this point. Now, the question becomes, which way do we go? There are a few demon armies in that direction. There's more story. So let's go this way first. And no more movement points yet left. So you can only do so much with the army in one day, so to speak. Move up. Into the cemetery. An elderly man limps towards the grave and clumsily throws a handful of soil inside. How unfair. They were all so young. They had their whole lives ahead of them. They sacrificed themselves and an old couple like me still lives? Another woman with her face bathed in tears steps up to the grave. She whispers, "The painting burned like everything else in the house. There's nothing left for me to remember you by. Nothing." A young man throws a handful of soil into the open grave and stands beside it for a while, lost in thought. He finally sighs and steps back. Solsail throws a handful of soil into the grave in front of him. He takes a breath and prepares to speak. It seems that he simply cannot find the right words. Varric wipes his tear-filled eyes, gathers his resolve, and says in a gentle voice, "I wish you a warm welcome in Cheyenne's realm. We will win this war. I swear to you. We'll banish its ugliness and evil, make the world richer, and let peace blossom in it. Make sure anything like this. He breaks into sobs mid-sentence, then falls silent, without finishing his declaration. You fought honorably and remain steadfast in your duty into your final breath. Your deeds will not be forgotten." Sosil is too absorbed in his grief to hear you, but the other mourners aggressively raise their fists in the air, inspired by your words. "Glory to the heroes of the Crusade. Never forget." What is that? An elven woman shrieks in horror, disrupting the atmosphere of silent mourning. A trembling hand points at something moving inside a grave. Suddenly a corpse climbs out of the ground, wafting a horrible stench from its rotting body. "It's a zombie! Run!" Fight off the undead. Of which there are a lot of them. Who could have seen this coming? You go to a cemetery, you're gonna find undead. That's just known by anyone. Just hope you do that. Now, zombie lords are troublesome. Normal zombies, not so much so. We have a few at our back.
You've crossed the wrong
Let's deal with you
mongrel.
first.
I'll cut you wide open!
Could have probably charged, but it'll do. Sosul is a paladin. Not paladin, a cleric. That's pretty much kitted out like a paladin. So let's just fix up his toolbar real quick. That'll do. Touch it good. Touch a creature with standard action. Granting a sacred branch to... It's basically a buff you can give anyone. Bit of luck. Essentially gives advantage to someone. Divine Fortune. Essentially a bit of luck, but only affects yourself. A bit of luck affects anyone other than yourself. Overall, it should be a pretty easy fight.
Into the fray!
You won't survive me.
The spirits demand your blood!
Let's do it one more time with him. Don't want to use them all up. There are more fights to come. It's an XP farm.
Begone, fiend!
Also going for my main character. Has some of the lowest AC.
The light! Take you!
And it's currently surrounded by people.
Enjoy this!
Oh, true critical hits in a row. Nice. Now, I believe some of us do actually have access to Fireball. But, yeah.
You are today's sacrifice!
Actually, was it you? I'm thinking of? Did I give you a second mystery? Gave you wind. Which means I should have actually updated your spellbook before you left. Oh, that's on me. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it is a mistake. That lasts for 1 minute. Already have bull strength. Where's the charisma? Wouldn't really help anyone. Do you have Cat's Grace? Do not. This endurance, concentration. How's wisdom is wisdom. Gotta remember that I do actually have to put 3 points at least into wisdom. What's this? No, actually take it back. Blur. No. Can I pull strength there? I can, which I'll put there. Can I put you there? I cannot. Do the same thing with you. I'll actually switch you out. I'd like to also have resist energy communal, but I'll probably have to wait till next level. Anyone else need to memorize spells? Yes. Should have done this before. Extra alignment, communal. Good buff to have, even though I've not used it that much. You don't have to memorize. You do, but you already have been set up, so it's cool.
Go for their hearts!
Out of my sight!
Swing and a hit.
Fall!
The zombies aren't hard to hit, as you can imagine.
The inheritor, guide my blade.
Make every strike count.
They are somewhat of a HP sponge though.
I'll cut you wide open!
I will see to your demise!
Two misses.
I will bring down the divine wrath!
Into the fray!
Have land
You
finishing off.
crossed the wrong mongrel.
With a heavy heart, Sosto looks at the corpses of his friends, returned to rest by his own hands. What is this twisted mockery? Who could possibly... Wait, what is this? He bends down and recovers something from the ground. Take a look at this. Still hands you a black onyx gem to you. Once precious, the stone is now covered in cracks, falling apart in your grip as you examine the engraved Minotaur's head. The unholy symbol of Baphomet. The cleric's voice, perplexed at first, fills with rage as he speaks. Cultists. Simply murdering my friends is not enough for them? No. They had to come to the funeral and desecrate their graves. Also, some of the townsfolk are only feigning their grief. These demon worshippers are everywhere. No one understands why the Inquisitors of Canabras became so paranoid. Wait, the townsfolk fled the undead without knowing they have a traitor among them. Wherever they are, they're in great danger. We must find them. But first we must loot. So that is what we do. Loot, loot, loot. Loot. Look at all that. These aren't must-work or anything. Nope. This is shields. But damn, that is a lot of money. Also, some experience. As you can see, he's already got his mythic ability. For him, he is essentially just a cleric. Doesn't need abundant ascendant element at the moment, at least. Domain Zealot is tempting. Truth, I believe, probably the best way to help him out is get abundant casting. It's a good ability for casters, no matter what particular class you have. It's just going to help him out. So we got protection from evil there. Unbreakable heart, huh? Remove fear. Divine fever. It's already got bless. So let's get command. And shield of faith. I like his choice there. 3 restorations lesser. We'll get F-less armor for him, because he kind of needs it. Just from alignment communal. Bone trick is a possibility, but full strength. A lion weapon, though to be perfectly honest, that probably isn't going to be that necessary. And sure, we'll go Soundburst. 3rd level. The fact that he has prayer so much is interesting. Okay, animate dead. It's a bit on the nose just after all that just happened, but you know, could be useful. Archon Aura. We had magical, no. Resist energy communal. And of course, Dispel Magic. In fact, I would like to switch one of the prayers for Dispel Magic. This protection from energy communal would be better. That should be him. And to start us off, we're just going to save. As we start this first section. Open this damn door. Please, someone open the door.
I hope you appreciate this.
The half-rotten corpse of a woman shambles out of the crypt. She leers at you with empty eye sockets and croaks out a few words. Thank the gods and thank you too. I know this is going to happen someday. They buried me alive. Who are you? Baroness Nidel Bullard, at your service. The dead woman bobs a clumsy curtsy, her legs barely supporting her. My estate is not too far from here. Let me assure you that all of you are always welcome there, assuming you're properly attired. I hate to break it to you, but you're actually quite dead. How dare you? What utter foolishness. Do I look like a corpse to you? No, no, no. You forget yourself. You should be ashamed to say such a... The dead Baroness wags her finger at you in a chastising manner, but cuts herself short, staring at her own hand in horror. What? How? This simply can't be. I shan't permit it. I am afraid it's true. I am truly sorry. This graveyard was desecrated by a necromancer. It seems he disturbed your rest as well. So, yeah, being somewhat kind. The dead woman covers her face with what remains of her decayed hands. So, I died. Even in death, the accursed servants of the abyss torment me. Can nothing be done? Perhaps you could lay me to rest? I quite enjoyed my life in this world. Now there's no place for me here. Not in this miserable form. How did you awaken? Do you remember anything? Allow me a moment to think. Seems like it. Yes, indeed. I awoke because I heard a voice. They were reciting poetry. Or a prayer, perhaps. I suppose it was a spell set? Must have been that thrice-damned necromancer. Would you like me to pass along any words of comfort to your friends or family while you're here? That good-for-nothing band of hangers-on? Yes, certainly not. Thank you very much. I'm reasonably confident they have already brought my estate to ruin and squandered the fortune I bequeathed to them. They will have to do without my missives. Spare us both the indignity and the embarrassment. You see, I would still be in the company of those I truly care for, were it not for your discourteous sorcerer and his pallor of tricks. He does not have a high opinion of their family. Lay the undead to rest. Rest in peace. Thank you. Do feel free to take my burial jewelry. Those pieces are dreadfully out of fashion where I'm going anyway. And just like that, she's dead. That's nothing to really explore here. Quick save. And this. Head forward. Oh, there's a zombie there.
Precision and grace.
The light take you!
That's quickly done. Oh, they disappear. Why are you walking?
Oh, skip the pleasantries.
Ah, because you're still staggered. I'm not sure if there's a time
The
limit for this one,
spirits demand your blood.
but we're just going to do what we can.
No glory without risk!
If I could do a fireball right there, I'd really like it.
You won't survive me.
Like, really, a fireball right there would be so good right now. As things stand, We're just gonna do it this way. So many zombies. All trying to hit Camilla. What'd she do to them?
You are today's sacrifice!
If nothing else, moving away from there would do a lot more damage than good.
Endure this!
Oh, miss. Hit. And miss. Come on, land. You can do better than that. You can do better than that as well. Do that. Okay, guess what he's gonna be doing next time?
Eternal Rose, I call upon you!
I need to start saving those.
Go for their hearts!
Should be easy enough to clean up after this point.
Into the fray!
Make every strike count!
Let's do that. Perhaps I should stop power attacking with her at the moment. Oh well. Hey, congrats. There you are. Properly healed.
Begone, fiend!
I'll cut you wide open!
Seem to have a mound of dead
The
bodies going
light.
there.
Take you!
You've crossed the wrong mongrel!
There we go. Are we really gonna leave the other zombie back there? That's a good idea, Sozel. You did kind of lose someone else over there to die, though. Come on. Someone
The
undefended.
spirits demand your blood!
A little rude.
You won't survive me!
Just gonna put you back here. Up to loot. Come on.
You are today's sacrifice!
Nice.
Endure this!
There we go. What honor! I can barely catch my breath. Thank you for saving our lives. Okay. There we are. Did we miss anyone? No one there. Something. Nope. This is a effectively a dead end. I thought there might be someone else I might be able to save, but. So I have two choices here.
I will help where I can.
Can either try and kill the undead at the front, which is slightly difficult, perfectly honest. Or I can go into the church. Sorry, bit of a stretch there. It's actually a thing here we could have looted. Did I not notice that? Ah, there we are.
Forget it. Well, this didn't go well. Forget it. Forget it.
Really?
Thanks, Lan. You're so awesome, Lan.
Doesn't seem we lost any time doing that, but, you know. Athletics, TC 16.
The mongrel did it.
Seems to be alright. Block.
I am helpful, am I not?
Thanks, Lan. You're so awesome, Lan.
TC 15. Game autosave. Who are you? What do you want? All you have to do is die in the name of Baphomet. Have faith. You can do it. Don't you dare. Get away from them. This is the end of your blasphemous magic. I won't let you harm the living or the dead anymore. Do you think I need your permission? Hey you, bone bags, stand up and kill.
We are the light! They are the darkness!
Okay. Let's do as we always do.
Make every strike count.
And duel the Necromancer as fast as we can. At this point. Now we start casting buffs. So many zombies. So many
The
zombies.
Inheritor, guide my blade!
Let's turn on flaming. Enchant the weapon.
Go for their heart!
Do a stab. Let's set forward a little bit. Let's move you there. Have you
You crossed the wrong mongrel. Did you see that?
Funny how to do a 5-foot step in this game, by the way. Just right click while trying to move. Probably already mentioned it, but it's always good to remind every now and again.
Into the fray!
I'll cut you wide open!
Fall! You won't survive me.
Really? Oh.
I'll make short work of this.
Actually hit. Out of charge range. Let's fix that. Also out of charge range. But not for you.
The spirits demand your blood.
I will bring down the divine wrath. Endure this.
One hit for land. Which is
Out
actually
of
rather
my
small.
sight.
The light take you!
You are today's sacrifice!
Theory, the skeleton champions shouldn't be too
Eternal
hard.
Rose, I call upon you.
I'm just having bad luck.
Every stretch out.
As you can see, you just need to get higher than 9 most of the time. You can hit
I
them.
will see to your demise.
There we go. I surrender. Stop. I give up. Don't hit me. The young man in black robes throws his hands up in a dramatic gesture. You damned rat. How dare you? Suddenly Sosil becomes a totally different person. The artist's delicate hands clench into fists, while his voice comes out as a menacing roar. He leaps at the necromancer and breaks his nose with a single blow. You scumbag! I remember you. You came to our temple begging for healing just a month ago. We fed you. We shared our table with you and took you in. Then I even know what I'm going to do with you. Stop it! I surrender your... Sosil ignores the necromancer's cries of pains, punching him right in the teeth. Necromancer spits blood, but continues, fighting past the wild blows of his increasingly bruised and busted face. You're a priest of Shelian. I've surrendered, so you have to spare my life. Your goddess demands it. Don't listen to his lies. He deserves death. It would be justice to kill him on the spot. Sosil looks at his bloody hands in disgust and pushes the battered cultist away. No. There's no justice in killing him right now. It'd be a simple act of revenge. I had absolutely no idea there was going to be so much rage in me. It's a shame, a disgrace, but I must admit that I enjoyed beating him. Forgive me for letting you see me like this. It should never have happened. Sosa wipes the necromancer's blood off his knuckles and steps away. You're the commander, and he's your captive. It's up to you to decide his fate. I surrender. Here, take everything I've got. Just don't kill me. The cultist turns out his pockets. A few ways to do this, but only one real Hell Knight way. Then I condemn him to death. The sentence will be carried out immediately. No, please, listen, You silence the necromancer forever with a single, well-aimed blow. Sosil bows his head. May the goddess forgive him, for I will not. He looks at you. Thank you for taking this sin upon yourself. Sosil examines the devastated graveyard, then diverts his attention to the terrified townspeople. It's alright. You're safe now. We should bury the bodies again. This will be a place of peace, and we must not leave it desecrated like this. The townsfolk are clearly terrified of even looking at the fallen undead, but Sosil's soft words reassure them. As they work together, the graveyard soon regains its tranquil appearance. After a prayer, Sosel bows his head before the graves of his friends for the last time. May the Eternal Rose grant them peace at last. Let's be on our way. We have many more innocents to protect from the horrors of this war. Kind of wish you didn't take me away from the corpse there. Oh, says it. There's nothing more over here, correct? Yep. But seriously, I wanted to loot that necromancer. There might not be nothing left, but... Here's a question, are the undead that were here still here? No. Which is good, in a way. There we go. He actually did not give us everything. He had a scroll left. There we go. These two have more bows, which is fine. Is there a way off the map from this end? Yes. Area exit. There was a bow there. Thought I saw a scimitar. A scimitar. Okay, now we can go. Now, ironically, I actually have to go up here. And we actually do want to enter our camp. Honest, this shouldn't be a long trip unless we get interrupted by someone or something. Just want to do two things. First is sell everything we just got, so we don't carry around, so we're not carrying out the weight of 27 scimitars in the club. I don't think that should be too heavy there. Also gives us a chance to reorganize the party and talk to Soso. And apparently we don't have to. Is his quest now complete? It is. Means we can now continue on. Experience is most of the way to the next level. About a third left. Should leave Soso behind, bring back Ember with us. That last party configuration we had was very strong against undead, but against everything else, not so much. Magical anomalies are common in the world of Galarian. So common that the use of the word anomaly itself is questionable. A regular city dweller will encounter a chaotic manifestation of supernatural power at least once in their lifetime. One might naturally assume that the strange sky, the ghostly fire from rifts in the ground, the rain of eyeballs, all that the world wound is known for, should find some purchase in the mortal mind. But even the most worldly of travellers feels uneasy at its borders. Why? Perhaps instinctively, they understand that this place is not merely a magical wasteland, but a wound, an ulcer, through which the world itself bleeds into the abyss. The commander and her army walk up the high bank of the western Selin River, where it draws near the border of the world wound. The soldiers' feet halt unbidden. On the other bank rises a series of cliffs, too regular in shape to have been formed by water or wind. The sky hangs over their sharp edges and sickening bends, shade of mercury on the horizon rising into dirty rust. As it arcs above the soldier's head, it regains its familiar azure hue. A whisper sweeps through the ranks and soon turns into a grumble. The commander gives a signal to wait, and climbs to the highest point along the bank. There she decides to address the soldiers and boost morale. Establishing rapport with her troops is yet another battle that the leader must face. Through the subtle alchemy of words, one can win trust and raise morale, or lose face and authority. Addressing the army at the border of the Whirlwind, the commander seeks to establish herself as a military leader on this new battleground. And her efforts prove fruitful. The soldiers listen dutifully, smiles appearing on their faces. Someone in the rank jokes that the demons have been growing tired of waiting for them. The army keeps moving. Lines of soldiers step warily beyond the shroud of the low black clouds. It's like the Whirlwind has reached out fingers into the lands of Mendive. The gesture seems eerily harmless, but then the clouds come to life, shooting out howling tornadoes, one after another. The tornadoes come from all sides, from ahead, behind, and right above the soldiers' heads. The power of the elements on one side of the scales, the soldiers' faith and inspiration on the other. It's plain to say which is greater. The determined army runs the gauntlet of tornadoes. The struggle lasts over half an hour, but the army only loses a few bags of supplies and a dozen hats whipped off into the sky. After stopping to catch their breath, the soldiers continue on. Their first encounter with the Whirlwind has ended in their favour. Now the reason that that's getting cut off there is most likely because the resolution setting I have set on. If it was slightly larger, at full screen for example, then it would most likely not have that issue. But the fact that it does is slightly annoying at times. But it should be fine. We gain experience, and we also gain morale. Not sure what that changes, but you know, we have 10. Let's move them forwards. We have flies. Giant flies, in fact. It is essentially exactly like Here's Might and Magic. Not sure what speed statistic does, but one group down. Another. Essentially lost no one, which is good. The site of an old battle between the Crusaders and demons is still strewn with thousands of corpses. The stench of death hangs thick in the air, while the survivors lurch around the battlefield, looting whatever they can. The dead, after all, won't need their trinkets or keepsakes anytime soon. Keep the resources for now. We do need to beat those, but they have 5. A total of 120, 160, 200 troops. We have that many, but I'm not sure how it's going to go. So I'll do a quick save, and then send them in. Special forces. Can we win? Can we not? And so, give it a smack. We're gonna lose troops in this, but should be okay. I wonder how many times I can do that per turn, or per battle. I feel like that'd be a good thing to do. 6 down. Should be able to win this. You would think should. They're actually surprisingly tanky. Though, we do need to be careful. We're starting to lose all of them. Ah, no, we've lost all the uses. Our poor archers. They're so expensive. Really? Is it that hard to... There we go. So many flies. So many flies. Strategy. There we go. Okay. Kinda wish we got more of our units back, but what can you do? After driving away a swarm of demonic flies, the Crusaders discovered the remains of an unfortunate group of Medevian knights. The leader had a baldric with an emblem recognized by one of their soldiers. It was the crest of the infamous fallen knight, Malandar Linz. Crest of Malandar Linz, the fallen knight. It's one of the most noble and controversial figures of the Third Crusade. The debate still rages whether his valiant feats of strength and his willingness to make sacrifices in the name of the Crusade balance out the unholy crime that was exposed after a purge by the Inquisition. It was revealed that Malandar Linz had been practicing the forbidden dark arts of magic, turning his knowledge against the demons. Shortly after the discovery, Linz decided to let the debate about his dubious methods rage on without him, and secretly left Canabras in the dead of night, alongside a group of like-minded deserters. Thereafter they waged their own war against demons, tracking them down and destroying small enemy groups. But ultimately, all the members of Malandar Linz's squad fell in battle. Scouts discovered evidence that, with each passing year, Linz had been descending ever deeper into his private abyss of the dark arts. He would have sacrificed everything for victory. The question still remains whether he was a hero or a traitor. And we find a breastplate +2. Not sure what the crest is particularly good for. She's apparently leveled up. We get to choose an ability. Increase the mobile hospital size. Increase infantry. Or just flat bones to attack. Oof. I think this one might be better. Noble Hospital is definitely good. We'll get this one for now. She does, however, need to get some reinforcements. So we're going to pull her back. Stop. We do not want to do that. And we'll move this one up. Hopefully we can have them not reignite. Just combine. Inflate your numbers a little bit. And there we go. Now, as for this one, Houndheart Campsite. Need 5,000 more experience level up. Let's go this way. Of course, we're all fatigued as well. Probably should have rested when we got to the camp. It should be fine.
Now what is that?
Hopefully. We're finally here. Ellen and Cole must be around here somewhere. And Jaina too, if they gave her permission to leave. Ah, there they are. Greetings, Celia, and greetings to you, Knight Commander. Sir Ellen pulls his hands behind his back and bows slightly. Then he casts an inquisitive glance at you. He seems less friendly than he was the day you met him at Defender's Heart. Jaina puts her hands on her hips. She looks even more dashing than usual. Ellen's feeling a little shy. You thought he asked for help from a couple of nobodies like us. Now you've turned into the saviors of Canabras, Knights of the Fifth Crusade, marked by Omede's blessing. And you still came to help him dig through a pile of junk. Silly friends little. Let's not talk about it. I assure you, I'm the same Celia, your friend from the League of the Cart. And we came here to help you look for Ellen's ring. By the way, where's Curl? He didn't come with us. He said an old wound was acting up. Alright, my friends. Since we're here, let's finish this mission quickly. I really don't feel comfortable bothering the Knight Commander with my personal problems. I'm glad we're here to help you, Ellen. Hope everything works out perfectly for your wedding too. I love weddings so much. They're full of joy and new beginnings. I haven't been to any yet. Can I come? Ember says. Of course, Lady Ember. Let's hope my bride doesn't run away from the bungalow who managed to lose the ring you brought for her. Is something wrong, Ellen? Am I making you nervous? Young Knight is obviously embarrassed. I apologize. Jaina is right. Much has changed since we met in Canabras. Some things for the better, some not at all. You stop short, apparently unwilling to elaborate. What does the ring look like, and where should we look for it? The last time I saw the ring, it was with my things in my travelling chest. Now the camp's in total disarray. I don't know how we'll ever find it. The ring is made of shiny silver metal, with a deep blue-green jewel. You can't miss it. Master Derek is not just a jeweler, he's an artist. There's no mistaking one of his creations. Camellia, sounds delightful. I wish I possessed one of Master Derek's fine works. I've seen them from afar, worn by visitors to the Gwen mansion, but I've never held one before. I was never allowed to approach important guests. I'm not one for florid compliments, my lady, but I suspect the master would happily give you one of his works as a gift. He does that from time to time, when he meets someone whose beauty inspires him. Thank you, sir. Camellia lowers her lashes demurely. A trinket worth several months' pay, Ellen? Rules on the surface are insane. You should give your girls fried rats like we do. You'd save yourself a lot of trouble. Alright, off we go. Jaina and I will look around the northern side. We'll see if when you find something, or when we give up trying.
I found something.
So essentially this map is filled with just random items that you can potentially find. Also, the ground is trampled there. There are signs of battle everywhere. The Hound Hearts were clearly attacked by demons here. The tent has been cut open from the inside. The knights apparently left in a hurry. Hat, heart, and song. Are you aware this hat uses any song? The song also grants fast healing 1. Level 1, fast healing 2 at level 5, and increasing by 1 point for every 5 levels after. That'd be really good if I was a bard. The tent is different from the rest. There's a strong burnt smell around it, and a rustling sound coming from within. Check the tent.
Let's have some fun.
There are demons in that tent. Also, some really annoying ones. 3 of the fire ones, my god. Let's not hold back. Let's
You
try and kill
crossed
them.
the wrong mongrel.
Okay, let's move you slightly back as well.
The Inheritor, guide my blade.
Tell me you have protection for energy. Please tell me you have protection. Oof. Oof. Nope. So let's just move you as far away as we can. Because we're about to get nuked. Yep. Thank you.
Go for their hearts!
You won't survive me.
3 shots, 3 hits. Try and finish off this one. Yep.
Into the fray.
There we go.
Some adventures for later.
Slightly scary. Slightly scary.
I welcome your company.
I am helpful. Am I not?
Ability, 2C20.
Well, this didn't go well. Forget it.
It's Al.
Thanks, Lan.
There we
You're
go.
so awesome, Lan.
Aha, a shield. What is this shield? Divine Protector. Mithril, enhancement +2. The smooth or heavy shield grants its wielder DR5/magic. I thank you for the upgrade. Smash your stuff. I believe that's the chest that kicks everything off. So we're gonna just wait there a little bit. Also, shard of a ring. It's another artifact that we need to complete. Start collecting magic essences, I suppose. Torn flag of the Hound Hearts. Small but noble order of crusaders.
Endure
No,
this.
don't try to kill it. Don't need to.
Make every
No.
strike count.
Stop trying to kill the deer. That should be pretty much everything on the map, apart from this chest. A small closet demon emerges from the chest. It looks at you angrily, screwing up its ugly little face. It's holding a shiny object in its paws. A sparkling silver ring with a large blue-green jewel. It's mine! Mine! Ellen, look. Look at that creepy thing. What's it holding? I've seen one of these before. These small demons like to tease and bully, but will bolt if it senses any real threat. Let's surround it and attack it all together, before we can figure out what's happening. Mine! The closet throws its paws in the air and splashes you with beams of colour. You hear insolent giggling. The demon is jumping up and down, throwing the ring in the air and catching it. Mine. Ellen, Jaina. Celia glances at her friends, then turns to you. They're alright. They'll come around soon. Quickly, Elsie. Let's catch this little rascal before it runs off with the ring. Oh, it's already running off. Oh, there you are. Fine, the ring is mine. You can't catch me, silly weak human. Kinda can. Come and get me. You're too slow. It's fun to play. This is meant to be a cutscene. Come on. Oh, this is meant to be something happening here, I suppose. Hopefully it's not a broken cutscene. Oh, there we are. Took a moment. Nope, Curl's taken it. Before Ellen manages to get to the closet, halfling Curl appears right next to it, quite out of nowhere. He snatches the ring from the demon's paws. You mustn't get it. Curl, what are you? Thrusting himself between Ellen and Curl, Celia barely managed to absorb the blow aimed at the halfling. Ellen, stop! Have you gone mad? Ellen of the Handhearts. He's using a summon spell. Why didn't you stop? And some lovely little prey has just stepped into my trap. Get ready, we're in now. This is not a good situation. I do not like baboos in the best of situations. This is definitely not that.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Just thinking it's an extra turn. Bit of a waste of a
No glory without risk.
key point there, but so we have to do what we have to do. You don't have anything that increases crit at the moment, do you? Good focus? No. Cool. What spells do you have? Inmate dead. Yes. Try to put someone to sleep. Thank you. Darian, do you have a buff we can put on? No, but you can also summon. Can't summon at the moment, actually. So let's just do this. Fatigue against spell resistance. Okay. Let's actually do this here.
You won't survive me.
The light. Take you.
Wait for this.
I'll cut you wide open.
Then have the Skeleton Champion start moving out. I'm not really going to do much damage here, but they are going to hopefully slow them down. Darian doesn't have a lot of offense at the moment. Try this again. What is their spell resistance? 17, that's why we're not beating it. Yeah, damn demons.
world in crimson.
We'll be resting soon.
Endure this!
Nice.
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
The spirits demand your blood.
Step. And we should be able to coup de grace this one. Nice. That one's gonna be waking up soon if I remember correctly. As for you, let's try and put you to sleep. Easily done. So let's give you a small heal as we can.
Make every strike count.
Into the fray!
I swear, Ellen, if you wake that one up. Yeah, they totally are, aren't they? Oh. Can't charge because we're fatigued at the moment, so let's run forward. Emma can't do anything up there.
Precision and grace.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel. You won't survive me.
There's so many bodies in that area now that when it tries to stand up, it's probably going to die.
You are today's sacrifice.
Also doesn't help that it's at the end of the initiative. There we go. 5 kills in 5 rounds. Ellen, what were you doing? You nearly cut down Curl. Without second thought, without trial, not even knowing he was responsible for all this. He might be a victim himself. What am I doing? He lured us into a trap. Curl was the only one who knew where we were going. He knew we thought there wouldn't be anyone at the camp besides some small, harmless demons, so he set a trap. I wouldn't be surprised if his demon masters had him targeting the commander from the start. Talk about believing in the redemption of scoundrels. Ellen scoffs. We barely know anything about what happened. Curl was a good lad. He's not a spy or a murderer. Maybe they threatened him, tricked him, or even bewitched him with demon magic. And now we'll never know because you let him escape. Better let a thief escape than cut down an innocent. So you're willing to let a traitor become demons down our heads just to keep your conscience clean? Get serious, Celia. I'm serious about this. I'm just going to allow you to murder someone who I consider to be a good person, or someone who could at least redeem themselves. I'm sorry to hear that, sister. Don't you understand you're not just a common knight anymore? Celia, I didn't want to say this, but I think of you as my friend, so I'm going to warn you. After what happened at the Grey Garrison, you're in serious danger, and maybe not just you. You might like to ignore military hierarchy and the rules of knightly orders, but there's wisdom in them that has stood the test of time. A soldier rises from a private to an officer, a knight begins as a squire. Even Aomene's paladins began their abilities gradually, but not with you and the commander. You were granted incredible powers, far surpassing seasoned paladins with experience and skill far beyond your years. You received this gift at just the right moment, and saved a lot of lives across Mendev. That's a great deed that will be remembered for ages to come. But what happened next was wrong. They began to worship you. The Queen gave you such vast power, all while you sidestepped everything. Training, experience, hardship. This is not the first time Her Majesty has behaved rashly. How much good has this brought Mendev? I'm frightened by what I see, especially by the way they see you, Celia. Especially by the way you, Celia, trust people so easily and leap into adventures without looking. One day you'll lower your sword when you should have driven the blade home, just like thousands of bright-eyed youngsters will after you. Ellen pauses, as if reluctant to continue, then looks you in the eye. I want to tell you the same thing, Commander. You're right to an extent, Ellen. I didn't choose my lot. I'm just trying to fulfill my duty as best I can. The knight lowers his head. I apologize for my harsh words. I said it, Celia, and I'll say it again. This wasn't a reproach, but a warning. Power you've been given may be your undoing, and the undoing of all the Crusaders along with you. In any case, forgive me for wasting your time, and subjecting you to danger here. Now at least we know that Curl is a traitor, and Jaina is a coward ready to abandon her friends when it gets rough. I hope we'll all learn a lesson from his mistakes. As for that blasted ring, to hell with it. Kinda won't love me solely for the gifts I bring her. Ellen makes no attempt to conceal his disappointment. Nodding goodbye, he lowers his head and walks away. Celia watches as he leaves. Her expressive eyes are filled with sadness. Everything's becoming very complicated all of a sudden. Please, Elsie, let's go back. I'd like to talk to you about it later. I have a lot to think about. And with that, combat is done. Got some experience. Honestly, not a lot for the trouble we had to go through. I was hoping we might hit 7, but honestly, it took some time. And will probably take some time. Let's go back. Cancel. Yes. We're going to rest here for 2 reasons. 1, it won't take that long, and 2, it will help us deal with the corruption. Or returning to camp every time, but it's useful. Lan approaches you, callously pulsing a ripe apple on his sleeve and smiling. Wait, Lan has sleeves? I knew I'd find you here. It's been hard trying to catch you alone recently. Everybody seems to want something from you. You being the commander of Crusade probably has something to do with it. That's why I wanted to talk to you about it. Lan's expression grows serious. I've seen you fight plenty of times now. The way you charge into battle like everything depends on you. I don't know if you're trying to be a hero, or it's just your own honor at work, but when I think about getting hurt, it's like my insides just turn to ice. Because we're friends, and I worry about you. I know, you're the commander, and you've got to lead the charge. But let me protect you. It's the least I can do for you. Lan looks into your eyes, because we're comrades, right? And I don't want a comrade to be devoured by demons. This is such the friend zone answer. Thank you, Lan. I also appreciate help from a friend. Don't mention it. I'll try not to stick out like a sore thumb and stay out of your way. I'll just watch over you, silently observing from the shadows. Wait, no, that came out wrong. Forget I said it. Lan rubs the back of his neck. What I want to say is, you can count on me. Lan is by far the easiest character to start a romance with. And if you need the achievement, you can get it right there. Luckily, we do not. Lan's a great guy, but don't particularly want to do that. Not this playthrough, at least. Area exit. Oh, actually, we do need to rest here. Rest. Onion soup. We'll create another scroll.
This is not the end. Canabras did not fall. It will survive this and be rebuilt. Better than before.
And it will be the same dull little provincial town. Dullness never dies, it seems.
Darian does not hold back. But we arrested. Show me what you have. Bulk selling, get rid of those. Get rid of these. Breastplate +2. I don't think anyone in our party uses breastplate, so we can get rid of that. Also this. Just to get some extra money. I believe the number we're looking for is above 30,000. Go out again. And I think we're going to end this one here. We're starting to actually enter the areas I haven't done before, so we'll continue this next time. LZ end. There we go. Also LZ start. And I shall see you all in the next part.